Hello, and welcome to episode 49 of the Carla Knits podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, sometimes crocheting, but always all of the yarny goodness that I love. Today is Friday, April 29th. I can't believe April's already almost done. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and supporting me and this channel. And if you're new, welcome. And I hope you like what you see and that you'd consider subscribing. You can find me on social media, Instagram, Ravelry, and most recently my Etsy shop as cbcraftygirl. And links for those places will be found in the description box down below, as well as all of the patterns and things that I talk about. In our, words this morning. It's around 9 o'clock. I should be a little more awake than this. We do have a podcast group on Ravelry for Carla Knits, and we currently have a Love Your Stash Mal or Make Along going on for the entirety of 2022. And this is to knit or crochet anything, and really any craft you can use stash for, you could participate in, but mostly it's been knitters and crocheters, which is just great. But to use and make projects using yarn that was in your stash prior to January 1st of this year. And we are well into the 300s. I didn't even look. 360, 370 finished objects in the finished object thread, and chatter. There is so much chatter going on. Sometimes, during the week I'll hop on, and then a couple days later I'll hop on, and one day there might be 17 posts, and then I'll hop on, and like this morning there were 16 posts in the chatter thread. And I don't always respond because somehow or sometimes I'm not exactly sure how to jump in on the chatter, but I am reading all of your chatter, and it's super fun. So what's being chatted about and shared in the group? When I looked this morning and earlier this week, there's a little chatter about the kitten that was rescued. I talked about that, I think, on the last episode. People are talking about a specific sock pattern and how to execute that. So that's kind of interesting chatter. Someone went on a vacation and it looked lovely. It sounded lovely. Always talking about new cast-ons, and people ask questions, advice from other knitters. It's just a wonderful, fun place to chat and to talk with other like-minded people who love knitting and crocheting and yarn as much as I do, and as much as I assume all of you do. So please check that out. Feel free to jump in at any time and share finished objects or chatter. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So if you're new, I draw quarterly prizes. So the next time I draw a prize from the finished object group and the chatter thread will be the first podcast in July. So I think that is all of the information, and you can find more in the Ravelry group itself, and again, links down below. Let's see, I have a winner to announce from the last podcast. We were gifted a pattern from Ghazal Muhammad, a sock pattern for one of the YouTube viewers of this channel, and so I did a random number YouTube picker generator, that's a lot of words, this morning, and it picked strings attached, which is Mallory. So congratulations, Mallory, and I will contact Ghazal with your Ravelry username. So congratulations. And Ghazal has a number of sock patterns on Ravelry, and I would encourage you guys to check those out. I did share the last time that I have knit a couple of her patterns, and I have learned things in both of them. So as a longtime sock knitter, learning something new is really exciting. So I did encourage you to check those out. Just a reminder that there is a coupon code for Carla Knits for Chit Chat Knit Designs on Ravelry. And that coupon code is in the Ravelry group. Darcy has a number of hat designs, cowls, mitts, shawls. So please check those out. There was some chatter about people who purchased, you know, some of her patterns. So, you know, go check those out. They're already so reasonably priced, but she's giving us 30% off with the code CK30 at checkout. And again, it'll be in the Ravelry group, that coupon code as well. And that's good until the end of May this year. All right. Into some finished objects. I have 3 finished objects and I am wearing one of them. This is my Kaisa tee by This Bird Knits, and the yarn I used was from Hobby Lobby. It's their authentic hand-dyed yarn, the fingering yarn in the color Plush Blush, and I could not be happier with this sweater. I absolutely love how this turned out. So I am wearing like a cami underneath, but let me stand up so you can see. So I think it's a really nice length. I did add about 2 inches to the sweater before I did the ribbing. So I believe that's correct. I measured another one of my sweaters that I really like, and so that's kind of how I gauged it. But this used only 2 skeins of a fingering weight yarn. So that Hobby Lobby yarn was, let me see, I have another skein here just to recall. I had a 3rd skein just in case I needed it. But there are 420 yards in this skein. So I used 2 of these to knit this sweater. And and this yarn retails at Hobby Lobby for $14.99, but if you can get it on sale, I believe it's like $10.49. So, you know, you could knit a sweater for under $25 or around $25, I assume, with tax. So that's a really good, that's a really good and affordable option. I hope you can sense how much I love this sweater. I think I am ready. I mean, I honestly have been thinking I would love to cast on another one. It is very comfortable. I just love the detail here. Oops, I have a little Reese's cat hair there. I just think this turned out so lovely. She does have a couple of other tee patterns that I think I may check out. Yeah, but I'm so happy with this, but that are the same thing, made with fingering weight yarn. You know, you use a bigger needle, and so it's a bigger gauge. For a fingering weight sweater, it went pretty quickly, which made me really happy. I could see myself making one for the fall, and since it stays warm here in the fall, I probably could make another short sleeve one, but I might like to make like a 3/4 length one. I think it would be really pretty in a fall color, like a caramel color or a burnt orange color, or, you know, just something for fall would be really pretty. So This Bird Knits Kaisa tee. So very, very excited about this finished object. And it's, of course, we're just starting to get warm, but this, I feel like this would be a good sweater to go to church on Sunday. Our church in the summertime is very heavily air conditioned. So I think this would work still in the summer. Yeah. All right, let's see. I have 2 other finished objects. The next one is a test knit that I did for, just turning my page here, Olivia Hammer, who is Live in Crafts on Instagram. So this is a test knit for her. Let's see which side is the right side. All right, this is her Simplistic Beauty Shawl, which used 1 skein of fingering weight yarn, and this was yarn in stash. Actually, this was yarn in stash for a very long time. Well, not a very long time, but a few years. This is from a Homespun house, and this is on a singles. It's a merino singles. And It's Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, so it's a Harry Potter reference. So this is a nice shawlette size. I love the cute little picot edging. Yeah, this was yarn I got before Molly, well, she was still in the States, so before she moved back to Germany. So that's how old this skein of yarn, or how long it's been in my stash. But such a fun, bright pop of color. It was a really relaxing knit, great to use for one skein of fingering weight yarn. With the border, there are 3 different options for the border, so you wouldn't necessarily have to do the picot edging, but I chose to do that. I thought that would be fun. This was my first time knitting a shawl using a fingering weight shawl using a single ply yarn, and it is so soft. Yeah, just so soft and drapey. I just love it. So this fun, bright pop of color. And I believe this pattern will be coming out in May, so stay tuned for that. So Simplistic Beauty Shawl, just a simple shawl using fingering skein weight. Am I saying that right? No, fingering skein of yarn. Yes, so if you have any souvenir yarn from travels or anything, it would be a great project to use that for. All right, and my third final object for today, a pair of socks. So these are the Obata socks by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bear. This pattern is available in the Vogue Knitting Magazine Fall 2021. And I absolutely love how these turned out. Hopefully I'm getting them in the, so you can see them okay. Beautiful texture on the sock. So I have done so many vanilla socks that it really was fun doing a, squishy textured sock. And the toe, I said last time when I had one done, is the umbrella toe, which I had never tried before. And it really does look like the spokes of an umbrella. It's quite interesting, and it fits very well, but it was really fun, to try something different. I need to do that every so often. I think that will, definitely help keep my mind engaged and having fun on socks. It's always good to have a plain vanilla pair just to do mindless knitting, but this pair was very, very fun, and I will be looking at more of Kay Jones's sock patterns because I absolutely loved this. The yarn, one last time, is from Lolo Did It. It was a Downton Abbey Club color from 2021, I believe June of 2021. The main color is Mrs. Patmore's Cottage, and the green contrasting toe is Orchard Lane. So yeah, the Obata socks, very fun. Getting a little warm now for socks, but in our basement, which is where I am, it gets pretty cool. So I still wear socks when I'm in this room, so they'll still be really fun. Or when it's a little chilly with the air conditioning, it'll be really fun to wear these soon. All right, so those were my finished objects. And I have 3 whips to share with you, and these are all new since the last time we spoke. So the first is my April dishcloth, and it is living in this bag. This is the bag that I have been using this year for my dishcloths. I love that fun Viewmaster. For those, well, hopefully all of you are old enough to remember Viewmaster, and if you're not, well, wow. But the Viewmaster toy, and I just thought that was such fun fabric. And on the inside, little stars that almost remind me of Jax, playing with Jax as a little kid, but they're definitely stars. But just really fun, cute drawstring bag. I did look on Etsy. This person no longer sells bags on Etsy. This was purchased back in 2016. So it's been a while. But in this bag is my dishcloth for April. So this is, let me get untangled. This is the Shire dishcloth by the Kitchen Sink Shop. And I've talked before how she is doing a year-long club of patterns based on her favorite books. And so April's pattern, I think I said it correctly last month, it is based on The Hobbit. And so for the Shire, I wanted this beautiful green. It's a little loose, and the reason it is more loose and drapey, which I'm actually very happy about, is I went up a needle size. Her pattern calls for a US 3, using a dishcloth cotton, and I have done that, I think at least on the first 2, maybe all 3 of them, but it was really hard on my hands using dishcloth cotton and then using it US size 3. So I decided to go up. Typically when I knit just like a standard dishcloth, I would use a US 7, but I decided, let's go with a 6. And it is so much easier on the hands. So these dishcloths are probably just going to be for me. So if it's a little loose, that is totally fine. Hopefully you can see the pattern there, kind of a staggered checkerboard pattern. Really fun, really easy. I just started it yesterday. I wanted another project to show on the podcast, and I realized that April ends on Saturday, tomorrow. So I really wanted to get this dishcloth done this month. So I feel confident that I can get this done by Saturday, by tomorrow. The yarn that I'm using is actually from Dollar General, which my son told me, hey, there's yarn at Dollar General, Mom. It's Crafter's Closet yarn, and it's just 100% cotton, and there was no colorway, but I just thought this green was pretty for that. And at the time when I wanted to get yarn for this, I didn't want to get to Lincoln or go to Lincoln, but I still do want to get to Lincoln to go to Hobby Lobby to stock up on some dishcloth cotton. Even though this is the Love Your Stash year and everything, and I am trying to use some stash, I would like to get some nicer cotton to still make these dishcloths this year, unless I have colors already in my stash that I think go with the dishcloths. So this will be linked down below. You can get her pattern free emailed to you at the beginning of each month by signing up for her newsletter through her link on Instagram. So I will share that down below. My second work in progress is not going to look like much, but I will share it. It's kind of in pieces. It is in this bag by Molly Klein Design, which I bought several years ago. My mom had said before that she enjoys seeing my bags, whatever bags are housing my projects. So I know I enjoy seeing that on other podcasts too. So I have to get into better habits of sharing the bags. So this is a really pretty bag by Molly Klein. And in it, I have various pieces. I don't know, I think a couple of my knitting friends from my knitting group here in town can guess what these are. These are pieces to the duck that I talked about wanting to make. So let me show you a picture. So this is Amelia the duck. Isn't she cute? And it is in this book, Knitted Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. It says over 40 knitting patterns for adorable animal dolls, their clothes, and accessories. There's 13 knitted animals in here, so lots to choose from. Look at it. Aren't they cute? They are just so sweet. Let me know if you've made these before or if you've worked on these. So for Amelia the duck, I started with her head, And I assume, you know, they had us put in markers, which I assume are going to be for eyes and where the beak gets fastened. So I have the beak, and then I have the duck tail, and then the duck body. So all of these pieces are knit flat and will be seamed. So I have to do, in this color yarn, I have the 2 arms and the 2 legs to do, and then I will be able to put the body together. The yarn that I'm using is is it sheep cheese? Am I saying that right? Or sheepies? Sheepies, stonewashed, and Katona. It's a very nice cotton yarn. I am doing all 3 projects right now, all 3 whips in cotton, so my hands are a little tired. And there are a lot of make ones in this pattern at a fairly tiny gauge, so it's been a little challenging working on this. So I would have loved to crank out all of her body parts, but I am very happy that I have this many. So I know it doesn't look like much, but stay tuned. Eventually there will be Amelia the duck in some clothes. I'm really looking forward to knitting the clothes for her. All right, and my third project is in this bag, which I shared last month, or not last month, this month, my last episode. This was a bag that I had won from Darcy of Chit Chat Knits. Thank you again, Darcy. I love this bag, and it is housing a new sweater project. So I believe I talked that I had 2 sweaters that I was going to be choosing from, the Sunshine Coast and the Derecho. I hope I'm saying that right. I think derecho, or yeah, I think people pronounce it differently, derecho or derecho. But at any rate, I am making the derecho sweater. This is a pattern by Allison Green. I feel like it was pretty popular last year. There were several podcasters making it. And really the reason I am making it is I saw it done in person by my friend Lois from my in-person knitting group, and I love how it turned out. So here is what I have so far. Let's see, that's the back, that's the front. It's a little hard right now. I'm a few rows away from where you divide for the sleeves, but this is pretty good progress. This yarn is really nice. At first, I found it a little hard to work with, but it is actually really, really soft. Yeah, it's a really nice, it's a cotton blend, and I don't have the ball band here for all of the different fibers in it, but it is Barocco Remix Light, and it's the color 6977 Pool. It is classified as a DK weight yarn. I would not say this is a DK weight yarn. I would say at best it's a sport weight yarn, but I feel like it's almost heavy fingering. The skein of yarn comes in a ball. It comes in a skein of 437 yards or something like that. So to me that says, oh, it's a fingering weight, but it is classified as a DK weight. But it's knitting up fairly fast. So I think I shared last time that there are 3 of us from my in-person knitting group that we decided just to do an informal little make-along of a spring sweater. So this is the sweater I chose, and then we're not knitting the same. All of us are knitting different sweaters. And when I cast this on last week, and I had knit a little ways down, and I had gotten through the short row shaping, only to discover, this was after several hours of work, only to discover that it was twisted. So I did not have a nice circle. It was twisted like a Mobius. Oh, I was not happy. And I discovered this at nighttime. And I was like, okay, there's nothing you can do about it. So you're just going to have to rip back and start over again. So that's what I did. And I got it back on track the next day. And we have a little group text going on. And my friend Lois, I shared this with the group, and she wrote back, her sweater is bottom up, excuse me, and she started hers only to discover that she had hers twisted as well and had to rip out and start over. So we kind of had a very unlucky start to this informal knit along. Our friend Joanne, good solid work on hers, no mistakes that I know of. So Joanne, Lois, if you're watching, I hope the sweaters are going well. But very happy with the progress on this sweater. And I think it is going to be a nice sweater for, you know, a little bit warmer weather. It's a short sleeve sweater. So I think that's all I have to say about that. But really excited to continue working on that sweater. All right, I'll share a little bit of stash, and that kind of goes into some upcoming knitting plans. I had talked about that Sunshine Coast, which is a sweater pattern by Heidi Kermeyer. It's about a 3/4 length sweater, and gosh, I might get really ambitious and just cast on another sweater. Who knows? Who knows? But it's going to be done in this lovely color. This is Zooey. It's a cotton linen blend yarn. And this is categorized as a fingering weight yarn. But isn't that pretty? I love that color. Yeah, I think that'd be nice. So even if I could make it and get it done for this fall when the weather's still warm, a 3/4 inch, or yeah, 3/4 length sleeve, I think that would be really great. So yeah, excited about that color and that yarn. So that will be for an eventual cast on. And then I got this skein of slub yarn. So I do not have a lot of slub yarn in my stash. In fact, this is the second skein of slub yarn that I have, but this was a new purchase. This is Dye Lot Studio. Isn't that logo cute? Oh, that little sheep. This is a 90% merino wool and 10% nylon, and this is in the color Peas and Carrots. Isn't that pretty? And so what I want to use this for, I shared last time the Flutter Wrap by Tiff Nealon. This is a big shawl. And she said in her notes it was designed to look and feel like a well-loved blanket. So a very cozy, comforting knit. So it uses 2 skeins of slub yarn. So I had this one in my stash. This is Hawari Bazaar yarn in the Crazy Plant Lady colorway. And so I got this and this. So it uses 2 skeins of slub yarn, and then it uses, this is bright, 2 skeins of mohair. And the mohair is by Uknit I Dye, D-Y-E. And I don't know, is there a colorway? You Make Me Blush. Isn't that cute? What a cute name. So yeah, that is going to become my Flutter Wrap. So with having finished a couple things, I finished my sweater, I finished the shawl, and I finished the socks. You know, I feel like I can cast on new things. So the dishcloth, that will be done. So this is definitely going to get cast on very soon. So I currently do not have a pair of socks. Those socks just got finished. Well, I kitchenered them yesterday morning and woven the ends. So very recent finish. So I have not, I've got fluff now on me. So I have not cast on a new pair of socks. And I was wondering if I should wait till the end of May. A lot of you who are sock knitters, and you probably know the Crazy Sock Lady, I've certainly talked about her I feel like many times on this podcast. She is hosting a 3rd annual summer sock camp, which is just a really fun summer knit along to knit all of the socks. But cast on date is May 28th. So I hesitate in casting on a pair of socks because I would hate to, have to set those aside and not get them done. But I could maybe knit a pair of DK weight socks and get those done before the end of May. I mean, really, I could, huh? What do you think I should do? Should I wait to hold out on the socks? Because I definitely want to knit socks, for the summer sock camp. So should I wait to cast on, or should I just cast on with abandon a pair of socks before then? Let me know what you think. Let's see. And are you guys participating in summer sock camp? Super fun. It's just a really fun knit along with so many people knitting socks. And if you use stash yarn, then you can always put it in the Love Your Stash make along. All right, just a little shop news. I have a restock this week of the large knitting sheep fabric. So this is the large bag. I still love these sheep, and I did make one so I can keep one too, because I thought I just have to have that. And it has the inside pocket. Can you see that? With the polka dot fabric inside. So these will probably be in the shop once this video goes up, and I'll always put some kind of announcement on Instagram. But the large size went pretty fast when I put them in last time, so I decided to make some more. Yeah, really fun fabric. So I could see myself really falling down the fabric rabbit hole, just like I have done with yarn. Just as there are so many beautiful yarns, there are so many fun prints of fabric out there. I absolutely love all the fabric I see. So really fun. And thank you to those of you who have supported the shop, whether you've purchased something, given a kind review, giving me a like on Instagram, or a heart on Instagram. I appreciate all of the support from all of you. That is so kind of you. So thank you so much. All right, just on to a little bit of chatter. So I was looking back over my calendar and I realized Easter just came a little bit after my last podcast. So we had a really nice Easter, and our son and his fiance cooked a whole Easter dinner for us. We did not expect that at all. We expected it to be much more of a casual dinner like we usually do. We don't do anything too fancy when we get together each week, but they did a ham dinner with, several sides, different vegetable sides, rolls, dessert. I made deviled eggs. It was absolutely wonderful. So thank you to Erin and Kelsey for having us for that beautiful Easter dinner. It was really special. Really special. And of course, being in the choir at church that day and singing all of the beautiful, glorious music was wonderful. Some very exciting news. The twins came. So my youngest brother, David, and his wife Natalia were expecting twins. And they came at 33 weeks. So it's Caleb and David. And so they'll join their brother Joshua. So 3 boys at home, but the 2 babies came, and they have to stay in the NICU for a little while, but they are doing really very well. If you remember, I crocheted 2 blankets for them. No, I did not get those in the mail yet, so it's probably a good idea to do that. But they live in Texas, so they may not have the need for worsted weight blankets at this point, but I definitely want to get those out in the mail. So that was super exciting. Our weather, very windy the last week. This week, not as windy, and we finally got rain. We have been so dry. The weatherman this week said that this was, the driest April that Nebraska has had in 30 years. So that was really something. But we were blessed with rain last night, and I believe there's some rain in the forecast even for tonight. So we are very grateful for that. It was wonderful to hear a thunderstorm and then hear the rain outside. It was great. So really happy to have some rain, and hopefully that will help green things up. Yeah, that really need help. The last thing to share, I am done teaching for the school year, which seems really early. It's the end of April and I'm on summer vacation, which is super fun. So I ended my teaching of lessons this week. Next Monday, I'll go in for a keyboard exam. I just go for moral support for my students. So they perform for some other full-time music faculty, but I am there for moral support. But I am essentially done for the semester. So here comes summer. So that's pretty fun and exciting. So I hope that you have all been well and that you've been enjoying spring or whatever weather you are having. I know some of you had snow, some of you've had, winds like me, crazy weather. So I hope you are enjoying your spring or whatever season you are in. I hope you are finding time to do the things that make you happy. And if you're knitting or crocheting, I hope those things are going well for you. So with that, I think I will say goodbye, and I'll hope to see you real soon. Take care.